I'm going to start this one off. I am going to start this one off with myself. I'm 80 years old. I was educated in the 1950s. That, well, both my parents were Democrats, by the way. I was raised in Massachusetts. They're buried in the snow right now. I was raised up there. But at that time, the Democrats and Republicans, the only difference was how to get something done. I mean, they both loved America. And that changed about 1959, which means for the last 60 plus years, they've been going. All right. Now, I served 20 years in the Army. I served 2 years in Vietnam, 9 years in the Cold War in Germany. Now, that was the interesting one because Germany was right after World War II. It was a fun place to be. The people were fantastic. You didn't get to know them. Russia. Oh, Russia. Oh, you ain't never seen Russia. Nuclear bombs coming there. Yeah, right. That threat. It's been going since the 50s. It's called mutual destruction. If we do it, they're going to do it, and the whole world destroys. And nobody wants that, including them. Even though they're idiots, they don't want that. Right? So don't worry about all that crap. China, there's still mutual destruction, but China would land if they could in the United States. The problem is, if China landed, there's going to be 26 million vets sitting out there in China pinging them when they land. Yeah, we don't worry about the army. We'd be out there, okay? And that's kept them. That's called the militia. Yeah, that's not the militia they talk about. That is the actual militia. That is the Minutemen of this United States. The retired military, the hunters, and the people that believe in this country. That is the militia. All right. So let's get back to the boats. Let's talk about the what is it? Two strikes again? Oh yeah, they they talk about one boat took two strikes, and that was the one that brought the news. And the news said, well, they took two, and the two survivors were hanging on the wreckage. No, they weren't. The survivors had climbed in the boat. Why do I know that? Well, the report, when it finally came out, there was a JAG officer, that's a military attorney, a JAG officer on board the carrier, observing the strike. And he saw the people on the boat, and it appeared they were calling for help, which is probably true. They were calling other boats for help, get rid of the drugs. And he said, authorized the second strike. You've got to sing it. Now, I said, people say you're bloodthirsty. I said, kill them all. Both drugs that kill more people. Just kill them all. And I've had to face brothers and sisters, husbands, wives, mothers that lost people from drugs. And you don't want to do that. That's something that's terrible. But I've had to. In my lifetime, I've spent quite a few of them. All right. So, is it authorized? Now, that was the question. Is it authorized? Is the government authorized to do this? Well, yeah, it is. But you have to go back. Again, not too far, but you have to go back. All right. Now, the Maritime Drug Law Enforcement Act, that's called the MDLEA, Anti Drug Abuse Act. of 1986, authorizing the military to fire upon drug smuggling boats. Yeah, it's there. Voted. You never guess this. Who voted for that? Who voted yes on that? Chucky Schumer. Yeah, that. Yeah. He voted yes on that. Yeah. Now the votes on that were the House. The House voted 395 to 17, and the Senate approved it 97 to 2. That's almost unanimous, both parties that approved that act. And that's the authorization to do it. It hurts your feelings. That's too bad. The only reason the Democrats are fighting it is because they're getting paid by the cartels. The Mexican president's getting paid for by the cartels. That Mexico government's run by the cartels, same as Venezuela is. Did you know that 25 years ago, Venezuela was one of the richest, happiest countries in South America? People were driving luxury cars as common cars. And today the kids are eating out of trash cans and people are running from there. It went from a socialism, as socialism normally does, it went to a dictatorship. And that's where it's at now. It's a dictatorship. So I got it all out. Feel good. I hope you get something out of it. I know I've had a lot of, not a lot, but I'm getting these people that are all irritated about drug smuggling boats and drug dealers and the smugglers being murdered and killed and all that lies. Good. But you better think. You better think you might have to face one of those relatives that lost loved ones. And we've lost more people in what World War II, Korea, Vietnam put together. In 1 year, in the last year, we lost 58,000 men in 14, 50, all 8 years of war in Vietnam. And in 1 year, we lost twice as much, twice as many to drugs. That's not acceptable. I'm sorry. All right. Now, you got to know I love y'all, and all I can do is pray for you. That's it. That's all I got left. All right. I lived through all this. I've seen it, and that's where I get my information. Also, on information, go ahead and check it. Check that act. Don't believe me. Check it. Anytime you hear someone tell a law, check it. Make sure it's right. Bibles, make sure they're talking right, because boy, some of them Bibles out here. Woo-hoo. Somebody said, no, they're all the same. Remember, you heard that? They're all the same. Yeah, I got 7 Bibles. Yeah, I got 7. I've read them all. And 5 of them I throw out. They're ready to go in the trash. I keep them just so I know which ones they are. But they're trashed, all right? They change verses and change meanings, and oh, God, they're nothing, all right? I got 2 that I use. I use the Amplified and the King James, and that's it, all right? But that's for your own information. Please. Just be careful what you're doing. Be careful what you're doing. Be careful what you're believing. Learn to investigate yourself. Now you can Google stuff, but Google changes Google changes history and everything else to the whim of the left. Yeah, they do. They do that to the left a lot. I fronted them out for that. if you're really interested, get an old history book and look at it, because that's back when history was written. Uh, One day I'm going to go into the Vietnam War now, and that'll shock you too, because we were played. All right. Not that we didn't belong there, but the way it was and the way it was run, we were played. And that was terrible. But have fun, please. Remember, I love everybody. There's nobody I hate. I don't like to use the word hate. Well, it's something I hate. I hate sin, but that's it. Uh, Somebody said, well, how can you? I said, I love the LGB, whatever crowd. I hate their sin. I don't want to see them end up in hell. And if they don't change, that's what they're going to go. And that I don't want for anybody. All right. So I'll pray for you all. I hope you take it the way it was, as an honest truth. Thank you.